The secrets are laid bare. The plan is taking shape. But rebels should beware the sleeping beast they mean to wake. Hello, and welcome back to Tarandaur, to Sagas of the Sunless Reach, the Riddle of Rule, Part 6 of our 7-part miniseries. This is the penultimate episode.
Pressure.
It's very exciting. I dropped the spoon. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Zachary Frederickson, and I'm joined today by my friends, the heroes of rule. I need to move that spoon. Starting with my friend Bitmap.
Hello, I am Bitmap Prager. You can find me on Twitter and Patreon at bmprager. And my Kickstarter finished and is now pre-orderable on cowhousepress.com for the comic Mountain, which I'm very excited about, and I'm making with the great author Emily Reisbeck.
Emily, longtime friend of not just the show, but of my life. Very fantastic writer, fantastic podcaster too, once upon a time. Yeah, great all-around person. If you didn't get in on the Kickstarter, you should get that book. Cool. I'm also joined by Corey.
Hi, I'm Corey. You can find me on Twitter at Endless Musings. I use he, him pronouns. Oh boy, I can't believe we're almost near the end. This is super exciting. It's time to finally crack the sky, everybody.
It is time to bring them down. Likewise, I am joined by my friend Jade.
Hello, I'm Jade. You can find me on Twitter at JadeOxRose. I use they, them pronouns, and I am a consummate podcaster. It's what I do. Check out more actual play content over at the Stones_Standing Twitter, and you can hear about all our different podcasts that we do. I'm in like 50 to 60% of them at any given time, apparently.
You're very prolific. And finally, I am joined by my friend Mab.
Hi, I'm Mab. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Patreon at Little Lady Mab. Dying currently, but you know, hanging in there. Doing shenanigans.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. One day I'll stop doing 10-hour days at work, but today's not that day.
Buddy.
Yeah, that's bad. That ain't good.
That's a lot. Yeah.
It's been 2 months. It's been 2 months of 10-hour days, so
Fuck capitalism.
Wah, indeed. That is what we say to them. Yes, and you can find me on Twitter at OffSkinningGod. You can find the music to do it. I am bugbear.bandcamp.com. And we are here today to expose the villain Aldrich Errol for this parasite he is. But before we get into that, we should talk about what happened last time, because a bunch of stuff happened last time.
You all thought
So much
Session
stuff.
4 had a lot of lore? Nah,
Yeah.
son.
So much happened all the time.
I'm almost
Yeah.
a little sad.
In our pre-stream setup stuff, Mab ran through her notes and they took like fully 15 minutes.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
7.
8, 9. 9 pages of handwritten.
I thought it was
I
just
didn't-
7.
I didn't
No.
go into this
Incredible.
to make a deeply lore filled.
I have to write down everything. That's just the way I play games, is I write down everything.
Sure. Well, perhaps in a bit less time.
Hint
the
taken.
In a slightly truncated sense. What happened last time to our heroes? The
Yes.
heroes?
So last time we finally made our way out towards the Giant's ruins, led there by the Giant's tears that Apricus had spotted a few sessions earlier. We left the lodge to the Rams to take it over and repurpose it for their operations. On the way, we crossed a river and actually reached the ruins themselves. The ruins themselves were filled with necromantic energy, and in particular, there was an altar at the back, which Elizabeth studied in detail. She saw there runes at the top, as well as a giant floating spectral nail. As we were about to disturb the ruins, we had someone interdict and call out that they wouldn't have us do that if he were them. I don't know how to pronounce that in the third person. But anyway, one of Apricus's old rivals from the school showed up. We had
Dr. Mortimer Paxton.
Yeah, Dr. Mortimer Paxton. So familiar. We established one of our most beloved characters in one session, along with the likes of
Just
Sad Jack.
10 seconds.
Seriously. Like record
Listen,
time.
we all love a good Zach NPC.
We all do
Listen.
love a good Zach NPC.
Yes, correct.
So we get into a big standoff. He ends up to be working for one of the Earls, and was sent along to either dissuade us from disturbing these ruins or to take us out. As usual, our negotiations break down, and he ends up summoning a troop of zombies, in particular thanks to Kasana for that one, although I think we were fated for that anyway. And in the meantime, Elizabetha ends up disturbing the ruins anyway, and causes a haunt to occur, with a bunch of spectral nails which appear in a sort of death kite, all of those nails having these swirling, tortured faces around them, anguished. We take care of the zombies on the ground rather quickly, because thankfully we have people that can do positive and area damage. Shoutouts to Fireball. And the good doctor is forced instead to summon a giant skeleton, which gives us a bit more trouble, but we also managed to get that. In the meantime, Elizabetha starts clearing out the haunt by pulling nails from the ground. The aura is expanding, it's slowly taking over the ruins, big panic, but we finally managed to get everything down to size, with Orn wrangling Mort, and Kasana finally pulling the last nail free, with all the faith and goodness in humanity in her heart as she yanks it out of the ground. From this, we have sort of stars appear against the sky for a bit, and it almost seems like maybe we cleared it up, but no, it just turns out that it was actually us seeing into the silhouette of a galaxy instead. We have the points in the nail glowing soft and silver as a bunch of giants start to appear. We don't know what they're saying, none of us speak giant, but we can tell they're thanking us, so we pay our respects, and after we do that, the sound of flapping wings and stars across the sky intensifies as the silhouette of a raven shows up. 3 figures step out. We have the Lady Quester Apogee, and then Brother Wax and Brother Wayne, who essentially run us through what has happened to giants, that they are here in peace and to be not afraid, which is my favorite line, and essentially give us the rundown on what they've observed regarding the Arrels and how they sort of took over from the Gilded One. There's obviously a fair amount of doubt going on. Kasana, in particular, has some issues with this that's happening with gods occurring. With all
It's
the entities
almost
and
like
something.
it's an anathema for her.
It turns out. But we all eventually decide that, okay, it's probably a good idea to do this thing. They can't directly act themselves because they haven't really been invited in. In fact, this, like, Tarandaur kind of shuts out the influence of gods on its own. People don't believe. But Orn is sort of someone who serves as an agent, hence all the moon stuff. And besides that, we've just been given the quest to bring down the Arrel, so big fun task. Bring down the vampires who feed on their people, I believe is the quote that we pulled out of there. Essentially, we've learned that they have established their own reign of fear, and those who wouldn't ask questions. And while all this is happening, we have Mort just riding along for the commentary and talking about his strict and disorder routine. So, learning about both fitness and about how exactly to cause a revolution in Tarandaur. We have some very
important thing.
Very important things. Actually, there is a very important thing, which is largely Elizabeth's concern about the children that the Arrels experimented on, particularly that they may not end up with a place in society, they may be cast out, or otherwise forced to be cured or otherwise. That was a little redundant. So even with those concerns made, though, we do decide that we have to do this revolution, but we also are probably going to have to be aware of the after effects of it, as Elizabeth very rightly brought out. So once we decide that we're actually in on this, that we're going to work all this stuff out, get the people to rise up, we get some neat god bracelets. Kasana has problems with that too, but we resolved that because Orin gives Kasana the bracelet, so it's from a friend. We ask where to go next, and are told that they're not part of our world and they're just observing. We ask how to unveil the secret, in particular in reference to Soren, and they tell us that a secret known is no longer a secret. So we take it upon ourselves to speak to that secret, with Soren's permission, of course. When we return to the lodge after all of this, and also after having sort of press-ganged Mort into our order, we find that it's been fully recolored and repurposed by the Rams. We get into a little bit of here and there getting reoriented, and then Kasana finally gets up on the battlements, gives a massive cool speech, tells us that the Arrels suck and that they're vampires, and like they experiment on people and are causing a brain drain in the region. Yeah, they're understandably pretty pissed about that, and vindicated also, because that's like what they've been fighting against this entire time. And we have our first proper base of support. We do have some concerns from Soren as well, but you know, it's forward motion. The forward motion is the important part. We find some sources who we can lean on to inspire a riot. We find some leads that we could possibly pursue, including a pair of sisters that has been helping with seizing people, if I understood properly. And we also come up with a plan, because we find out that one of the Arrels, Rich Arrel, I believe, will be showing up in the crossroads.
Aldrich Arrel being the Maestro of Rule, the only actual member of the family that is currently in the parish.
Yeah.
He's the one who runs the parish.
Since he'll be by, we decide that it's time to strike. So Elizbieta is going to get close, pretend to be someone to be recruited, some sort of scion or other smart person. Prekis, in the meantime, puts together a plan with Alexei Vital and with Mort to crack the sky open and cause sun to come down, and hopefully reveal that Aldrich is a vampire. And we have a little bit of conversation after that, mainly where Kasana and Mort get in a big debate me kind of thing. And Orin and Elizbieta talk about Elizbieta being a Dhampir, because I don't think... This is the first time that got, like, openly addressed, isn't it? Like, Elizbieta being a Dhampir?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I mean, obviously...
out angrily mid-conversation. It was good.
Yeah. And then no one addressed it, and I was just like, oh, am I off scot-free? And then Orin's like, no.
So you're a Dhampir, right?
Yeah.
You just said that thing that you did?
Mm-hmm.
Also, in terms of things being revealed about the characters, the spirit that makes up the spirit instinct part of Orin was revealed to be Kasana's daughter, Arena, who's goes by Erin these days. And there was a bit of a breakdown there, understandably so.
It turned out Kasana's not just your main mom. She's specifically Orin's ghosts mean mom.
In the space between life and death, when we spoke to Lady Apogee and Brother Wax and Wayne, it turns out there was another person here with us the whole time that we saw only one other time.
No.
So that was fun. Yeah, all right. And now here we are standing in the middle of the lodge, prepared to take action.
And
Yes,
please
and
enjoy
somebody-
the presence of Lady Moon.
Yes. I don't know. I actually don't think that shows on the stream.
No, but you guys see it, and that makes me happy.
Fine, don't worry.
I'll bring it over if need be.
Oh yeah.
I've this whole time this whole show I've been very zoomed in, so like I have to like pull back to make sure that I'm not just an eye.
Just a full.
It is very much Circle of Zach.
An entity. Yeah.
An entity. So we are here. We return to the Vanatory Lodge, which will probably get a new name at some point.
The ram part is my vote.
Yeah.
I'm mad about it, but it's also very good.
We return to the rampart where somebody has drawn a pentagram.
You
I wonder who it could
icons in
be.
a star.
Not me with the pink.
You definitely couldn't tell based on our Roll20 colors.
Nope. Because I
those are
just
different
changed
colors.
mine.
I do
No.
appreciate the angry face next to no gods.
Yeah. So this is where we are. It's like the next day. You know, people have had a chance to heal up, and the wizards and the inventor have been hard at work through the night, building a device, the Cloud Break device. It looks like a. How would you describe how the Cloud Break device looks? I would say that a good part of it, it's like a telescope that you crossed with a outdoor grill. It's probably the easiest way. It's an interesting combination
Barbecue the moon?
of magecraft, of magic grade mirrors and focusing apertures that like kind of absorbs a bunch of light and then shoots it in the sky for magic. How has that been going, Apricus, that construction project?
So the professor, I assume, works in a sort of eccentric order of things. Does it all happen start to back, or does it sort of happen like in bits and pieces? Like we start with the middle of the plan, end up constructing everything around it. Like
So what it is you start with the smallest piece and then you scale up. And then eventually, and then you start putting as you like have things that snap together, you put them together as you're manufacturing and fabricating each new component.
Yeah, I would say with a clear set of instructions, hopefully written down, it's probably been going decently well, but this doesn't include any banter that's being thrown back and forth between Apricus and the professor, and also Morton.
Yes. Isn't this so fun, Apricus? It's like when we were at school, when we had those group projects, and I did all the work.
Oh, excuse you. I did the work preparing the speech. You did the work preparing the experiment. It was a fair split.
Oh, of course, yes. One of us was touching the gross, icky bodies, and the other one was writing about it. That's a fair split. Of course, it inspired a lifelong love of the human anatomy, so I can't say it was all bad.
Oh, weirdo.
You boys, you just keep talking, don't you?
I don't think we've stopped ever since I've encountered him over in the ruins now.
All right, sure. Ratcheting some stuff up. And yeah, over the course of this, Soren does eventually. I have to get rid of all this text. I try to keep it, but there's just so much of it.
Fair.
The text is gone, the sentiment remains.
Yes.
It's on Twitter.
Soren comes along and says, all right, so your doodad is coming along well, yeah?
Your dad.
It's happening, if not tainted by fraught observations and other sorts of things.
Elevated by... Right, sure. Well, I managed to track down a druid who might be able to help with the sorts of nature magic side of things. This is Tala. They live in the woods. They've helped us before. They're not, and Tala's like, I'm not exactly. This is not really my thing. This being among people, this open warfare, but the land has been degraded, and Soren says that you have a way to stop that, so I'm here to help.
Yeah, I won't say it, but if you aren't going to be one more gnat in my ear, then I will totally appreciate it.
Sure. Okay.
Charmed. Apricus the Luminary.
weird-
You'll hold that hand.
I'm not usually around civilized people. That still feels like a weird thing to say to me.
I was like, let them beast shape into a gnat.
And Soren says, okay, so that's taken care of, and I'm not going to engage with that conversation.
This is most hard.
Fair. Get out of there as soon as you can.
Yeah, as the druid Tala begins to help, and will be a member of the ritual when it comes time, because this will be the ritual, or as more and Alexia might call it the experiment. It's all the same kind of thing. The process. As Soren heads over to the other members of the party, and they say, all right, so what? So they're building a thing that'll shoot the sky to do something. What is your side of this?
Well, I will be doing what I'm best at, which is spreading dissent amongst the populace.
Rabble-rising. All right, certainly. So you'll just stand outside of the rock of Stout and just shout at Aldrich Al till he comes outside.
Would you like us to make you flyers to hand out?
That would be helpful, yes.
Oh, not me.
Kidding.
Before the events happen, I would be spreading dissent. On the actual day, I would be forming a mob.
Oh.
Right, all right, sure. Fair enough.
It's fairly simple once you've actually spread unease and unrest and doubt. Once a mob starts, it grows.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what we've been, a mob, and we've been growing. But I imagine this is more of an active thing. What about the rest of us? Oren, Lisbieta?
Oren
Right?
sort of looks to her.
Well, I threw out the idea previously that I could work on trying to get an interview with him. If only just if we could have someone up close and personal, and any kind of blow dealt would be an improvement, I think. But but also hand-to-hand combat is not my strong suit. So if it does come down to a fight after the fact, that's where my idea ends.
I certainly think that somewhere along the way there will be a fight.
Probably
because of the sort of violence that the ruling class has proven itself more than willing to use against dissent.
Well, that's where I come in. I'm basically there to try shut down any interference and protect the Esbeta.
All right, sure, that works. Alexi's staying back, and Sajak's staying back to keep an eye on the ramparts, but I'll be there as well. Tala and the good Dr. Paxton. We need both of them to perform the to make the thing go, the whiz bang.
The moon grill?
Whatever it's called. I think they called it Cloud Break.
Cloud grill. Yes.
Sure.
That would fit with the unshrouded sun, I suppose.
Aye. So we'll be there as backup in case things get truly heated. But I'd like to say that hopefully it doesn't come to that. But if we're able to stake the bastard in the middle of Crossroads, then power to us, eh?
That is the dream, isn't it? To be able to do that.
Have you got the wood?
No.
All right.
I tend to avoid that.
Said Jack, head out and get us some sticks. Then those will be necessary.
Is that the only way to end a vampire?
That or sunlight. Actually, if people want to make a undead lore or
vampire lore,
can I make a vampire lore check?
Undead lore.
Absolutely, anyone, yeah.
Oh Jesus, that sucks butt.
That was.
Can I hero point that? I feel like I should know more.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm just gonna leave it there. What grabbed one at the start.
Is there
of the
a
session
normal
anyway.
check that could be rolled for this?
religion.
Be religion. Yeah.
Well, that also
Okay.
sucked, but
That's not
better.
as bad.
I am a vampire, and I can't. Okay, admittedly, I
You're a dampier. You're a
studied
part
them.
vampire.
I book read about them.
So yes, one, vampires. They heal fast. They don't have regeneration like a troll does, but they have fast healing where their wounds quickly close. The problem with fast healing, honestly, is that you can't deactivate it like regeneration. Usually that doesn't matter, but for vampires, they aren't fully destroyed unless they are either burned in sunlight or staked. Well, actually, the vampire, to fully kill a vampire, you have to knock it down to 0 hit points. At which point it won't regenerate because it's not regeneration; it's fasting. It falls asleep, and then if it is put into its coffin, it can regenerate. You have to knock it down to 0 hit points. You have to stake it, and then cut its head off and anoint it with holy water.
I've got that last part covered.
Also, they usually have some sort of compulsion, but that's kind of like a regional thing. You're not sure what exactly Tarandaurian vampires would have. If you brandish giant's tears, the flower, or a religious symbol of a non-evil deity, they can you can like kind of rebuke them, and after a little bit they make a will save to try to like move towards you, and that's an issue for them. Sunlight slows them, and if it slows them enough, it destroys them. And they drink blood, which is bad. because if they drink enough of your blood, they drink your blood, they heal, you become drained, and if they drain you enough, they can just kill you.
Mechanically speaking, drained reduces strength, right?
No, reduces con.
Yeah. Okay,
How do
so
they deal with good damage?
I mean, they're usually evil, but they don't have a particular weakness to it.
How about positive damage?
They take it because they have negative healing, but again, not a weakness so much as
Gotcha.
just an avenue that can damage them. Likewise, as undead, they are immune to death effects, disease, paralyze, poison, and sleep. And the only thing that bypasses their resistance, vampire, like base vampires, can be bypassed with normal silver. True vampires, powerful vampires, can only be bypassed by enchanted silver. Which wouldn't be an issue for you. For Kassan, at least.
Oh,
Everyone else.
because I have enchanted silver?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I have a magical weapon that is made of silver.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
It's true.
The flag is being set right in front of her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably just stick to shooting them with searing light and stabbing them.
That'll probably help. Yeah. But yeah, and that'll knock them down. You can get them down to 0 hit points. You can destroy most of their bodies, but they won't be fully dead unless you stake them, decapitate them, and use holy water. And then true vampires like leader vampires have other things, like they can transform into mist and fly. They can transform into animals. They can like summon animals like rats, bats, and wolves. Many of them can dominate people with their like just force of undead personality.
Sparkling personality.
If you do not feel particularly willful, try to stay out of their gaze. Or avert your gaze, perhaps, as a single action to get a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Kasana, the video game tips person. Love it.
I'm gonna beckon Mortimer over for a second, if I can steal him away from building.
Yeah. He's like not wearing his cool goth overcoat. He's like in like a short sleeve button down white shirt and with like oily gloves now from working with the grease on the mirrors. And he like kind of hops over and is like, yeah, hi fellow revolutionaries, how can I be of assistance?
So you're a necromancer, correct?
Yes.
Do you have any means of detecting if someone is an undead?
Well, usually it's very obvious because of the bones.
You're a very, I hesitate to say funny man, so I won't say it.
You shouldn't.
Okay, a bit more like of the vampiric nature when it's not immediately obvious from like missing limbs or perhaps the undead pallor.
Oh, a vampire. Well, vampires, they almost always have blood red eyes and fangs. So that's, and very often a sort of pallid complexion. Like,
Okay, I thought I would ask because we got jumped by a werewolf the other day, and if we're going to be dealing with more than one vampire, I would like to know about it ahead of time.
Sure. So I don't have like a magic, like a spell of detect undead. I don't know that that's a thing, but I'll be on the lookout for undead because I know all sorts of stuff about the undead.
I can touch. I could just go around. I could just go around touching people attempting to disrupt their life force. And if they're undead, it will hurt them.
A lot of people look at me askance, but that's a crazy thing for someone to do.
Hey, but let me just...
Hey, what?
I'm just gonna like physically just turn Mortimer around, just like, okay, thank you, Mort, for your
But
expertise.
what I want to say is that anyone other than a true, like a vampire lord, like someone who's with a lot of practice hiding it, vampirism is very difficult to actually play off. Usually, you would have to have some sort of facial cover or eye blocker.
Like night goggles that are worn by all of the guards in...
Like the night glass, yes.
The riddle in Ruel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That would be it. Mm-hmm.
Horrendous thought.
Good, so all of the authorities.
Maybe!
I hate how much I love him.
I mean, probably not everybody, but some people might be. Just keep an eye out, and if they want to suck your blood, you'll find out.
Yeah.
Hey, Afrika's left.
Also, I wouldn't go around.
The only one that
I wouldn't go around attempting to disrupt random civilians. That would be absurd. That was a joke.
Okay.
the Rabukin thing you mentioned. Whoever happened to say it after that lore dump, but said it in character. Is that something you have to do like actively, or does it like make?
Yes, yeah. It's an interact action to brandish a holy symbol, or a garland of garlic usually, but giant's tears will fill the same use.
No, I was just thinking because Orin like liberally has the iconography of who they now know is Lady Moon.
Mm-hmm.
You just go.
Yeah, you spend an action pointing at your head, just
Show
being
off
like,
those sick tats.
Yeah,
Check
flex.
Holy shit.
No, also,
flexing.
I suppose
Making
actually
your
the
pet
question
dance.
the question actually is Lady Moon a good deity or is she neutral?
She is generally neutral, but for the purposes of this, she would count as not.
Cool.
and I assume philosophies do not count as deities for this.
Do you have a holy symbol of I don't believe in God?
She straight up wears it.
Yeah, I guess that is the
the question is
that is actually part of the thing is that philosophies don't count.
I figured they didn't.
Yeah.
I just love the image of Orin just flexes on him and scares him off. And if only for Kasana would just show off the shirt. I don't believe in God, but also not you.
Yeah.
I don't believe in God, but my kid does with an arrow pointing at a robot. We're getting off topic. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So those are the kind of important Cliff's notes about how to deal with vampires.
If you brandish your child, does that count?
You just hold up a baby.
Hold up a baby. No, probably not. Oh, lunch. It's like it's so convenient. You just hold it in one hand.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So that is that. If there is no more stuff.
How long do we have until Errol's due to visit the village?
Today is like Tuesday, and it's on Friday.
Have we got enough time to go to where the giant's tears grow and collect some?
You would
Did
be
Afrikas
close.
bring any back?
Yeah, did Apricus bring any back?
Yeah, he would have had some along with him, just gathering it. Probably enough for the party, at least. Because he thought that
thinking
maybe
maybe
everyone
Orin-
else would maybe pay their respects.
You probably have enough for a single garland.
That's awesome.
I was going to say, yeah, maybe for then Kasana. Or,
I'd probably
could
give
we
it
carefully
to Lisbeth, to be honest.
If you
Yeah.
wish, but I could not both hold one and my weapon.
You could put it on your weapon.
Yeah, like wrap it around the
You
staff
stick a
of it.
shit.
Yeah.
Do these represent a deity of some form, such as the moon?
No, the impression was that it's something about that plant in the same way that garlic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
the giants themselves were, at least the ones of Tarandaur, they were very like tight with Lady Moon, and they were also just in general undead slayers.
Sana will take them if people would like, though Elzbieta does also make a lot of sense to me if she's going to try and get close.
That could be really
Give me a
interesting.
rash.
We could braid them into your hair, like Entangled, where they kid the little girls.
I wouldn't be able to
flowers.
brandish that unless I like flip my hair.
Yeah, no, you do aggressive.
Your brandish action is hat reveal.
Yes, perfect. The best interact action. Just do the Lucy Lou hair flip from Charlie's Angel.
Nice.
Yeah.
As long as they wouldn't give me a rash, that's an option.
Well, I guess we'll find out how you brandish it when it comes to pass.
Yeah. No, I still did want to talk to Soren
All right.
before we head out.
Sure.
So at any point up until then.
Sure.
So if now's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
now's
Well,
great.
then like after the conversation, she'll be like, "Can I speak to you?" Just aside. It's like,
Certainly. What's up?
So I'm not gonna insult you by making you guess at what I might be, but a lot of this really boils down to getting the children out of that house and what to do with them after.
Uh-huh.
And
They're like young adults, for the record. They're not like.
well, they're younger than me. They're children.
Fair enough.
I mean, there are children out there also, because it's not like I grew up in the household of the Errol's. And
Wait,
he
what?
took my mother. What?
What? What's that? Wait, what?
Did you not? I thought, okay.
What? So I mean, I knew that you had some stuff going on that you didn't want to talk about, but I didn't. You've also got a connection.
I thought you might have known. I thought you put it together.
I put
no.
some things together. I know that you're not fully human like I am.
No, I'm a Dampier.
Okay, that's
So-
like a part vampire.
Yes.
Okay, and the vampire part is an arrow.
Yes.
Oh fuck,
Yes.
well, that's pretty gnarly.
Yeah. So there are most likely more like me out there who had something happen to one parent or another and then were let out into the world. Because I didn't grow up in an Errol household. I grew up with my mother, just in a
Right.
city.
Like a
So
like a illegitimate child sort of thing.
basically, yeah. So if I don't make it out, I'm leaving a letter with the professor to send to my mother with some gold. But if there is anything that can be done to get those children, those young adults, just anyone, just establish something for them, because I still don't trust most people, even if they have good intentions. But I would think that you would have a decent infrastructure to be able to assist with that plan of action.
Oh, like okay. Well, I run a rebel mob in the woods.
I know that,
I
but
don't know.
don't you have you? I mean, like any. I'm trying to think of the word. Like allies that you could pass them on to, or any way, like even getting them, to some other halfway house.
I suppose that I could make that happen. But I mean, we can make that happen because you're getting out of that.
That's the ideal situation, but practically, I'm not too sure. Like I said, if I get up close to him, I don't know how well I can come out of that okay.
Elżbieta, you are much smarter than me. So maybe you know something about our chances that I don't. But I know that I'm going to make sure that you get out of this one piece, because I know fuck all about orphanage management.
All right, for the sake of you not having to maintain an orphanage.
I'm not Cosma Kiryu out here. That's a Yakuza joke. Sorry.
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. How about you use that big brain of yours, not just to save these kids, but to save yourself. And I'll use. I don't know. I got a big brain. I got something else. And they twirl their pistol.
Yeah, your little fancy shooting really does come in handy, actually.
I got your back.
All right.
And we'll have theirs. Though, I mean, these folks that Errol took, what if they're fully turned? What if they're not like us, just halfway?
It's really up to them what side they want to pick. Because if...
Is it?
They didn't ask for this any more than you or I did.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, will they be able to even make one?
Oh.
And they touch their throat.
I don't know. I don't want to find out. But that's just step 2 on the plan, is making sure that doesn't happen, right?
Hey.
Step 1, get rid of the bad guy. Step 2, save everybody. Step 3, celebrate.
Well, when you put it like that, what could go wrong? Such a simple plan.
All right. Shake on it.
Yeah.
So, across the courtyard, Kasana leans over to Orin, and in Gornyazik says, "It is a lovely thing when love blooms on the battlefield."
But can
Lucky she can't hear you, or she'd shoot you.
as Soren and Elżbieta shake hands.
Pay no attention to the conversation in the in-game chatter.
Mm.
I did see it.
And with that, we turn things. We zoom out a little bit as the days pass, and your job progresses. Your work, your preparation, it all keeps going. And
are we making flyers? 100%?
Yeah, I guess. Are you making flyers?
Oh yeah, and
Okay.
I'm going into town, and I'm just kind of spreading doubt in the populace. I don't want them to I don't want it to be a thing that is just loud and I'm just shouting on the corners yet. I want to just get people talking and thinking, wait, is Aldrich Errol a vampire? When's the last time you saw them?
I'll help you
Totally.
with that. Because I can do that, but I'll assist you in making.
Do you have So Rumor?
No, I don't think I took that one. I didn't, but I still do have a decent skills, so I could still roll for it.
Sure.
I just have more interrogation things.
Yeah,
I am
if you
an expert in diplomacy and have group impression.
Fantastic. So here's what's gonna.
Yeah.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a diplomacy check.
Because I didn't know
you can
if
aid Kasana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
well,
if
yeah,
clue in
you can-
counts. Because that means clue in just means I don't have to roll for it.
Well, no, clue in is yeah. You just give a +1 to somebody as they work along with side you in like a mental check for a lead.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'll say. So you're gonna be doing some diplomacy and intimidation checks later to like whip the mob into up. So this is going to assist your doing that later by seeding the bones now.
What about a performance check?
That could also work. I will just tell you, it's going to be a very hard check. Mechanically speaking, not like between DC 25. You get a +1 from Elżbieta.
And this is for the groundwork.
The groundwork, yeah. And if the amount that you succeed by will make it easier. Will make the check easier when it comes to the actual rabble rousing later.
Only one person can help, right?
I can let multiple people help.
Because what I was thinking was I have a pretty decent stealth despite being incredibly large. I just like the thought of maybe like putting these flyers in places and like carving the symbol of Lady Moon onto like various places, just like, and like, you know, just like graffiti, just like Eldrick Arrow sucks in more ways than one. This is not a sex joke. You know,
Incredible.
Yeah, little vampire teeth. Either side, but just like,
here.
but yes, stealthing around, like, basically, it's like adding fuel to that fire, just like, yeah.
Sure, yeah. So you're getting +1 from Dishonor, and then yeah, you can roll a stealth check to aid as well, Oren.
Was that with the +1 you said?
No. Kasana's getting a +1 from Elżbieta. You're rolling normally to give Kasana an additional bonus.
For
29.
Wow.
Oh.
Boom.
Almost
damn.
crit.
So,
I did roll.
if we're all being squad here, I do have Streetwise Together information. Could I maybe do that?
Well, I'll say that you're pretty busy building a
Yeah.
doomsday device.
Yeah,
You've
that's
got
true.
a really big job ahead of you.
I was going to also say, if I'm sneaking into town, like setting up any small pieces of the machinery for Cloudbreak, like, because obviously you don't want to have to roll up with the fucking cart with everything set up, but like,
you're gonna have to roll up with a cart.
Okay, fair
the
enough.
way that the machine is built.
fair enough. But
You'll part of this will be you'll place the machine and that will.
well, then I'll, while doing my stealth around, look for a good place to put it.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe clear some crates out of an alley or whatever.
Yeah. Not many alleys, but certainly some fields, maybe. Sweet. So yeah, so Kasana, you can roll your diplomacy check. The DC is 25, which, you know, everyone's smashing these
Yeah.
DCs.
Well, if I'm doing diplomacy for this,
You get a +2.
so I have a 14 by default. So
Cool.
this is going to be plus. I'm going to just build that into the roll right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you'll just need to get like a 9, I think.
All right. Let's see how well the rabble rousing goes.
Oh!
You roused that rabble!
Yeah. So you definitely start to like seed some doubt into the minds of people. People, yeah, they start thinking a little bit about like, hey, I mean, he always wears those goggles just like everyone else, but like that's just to help him see, right? And he like kind of talks usually from a distance. He doesn't really open his mouth too much. Weird. He is very pale, but I mean it's Tarandaur, right? There's no sunlight. And that stuff is all kind of swirling around as you all make your way towards the village of Crossroads, which is the central village within Ruel Parish. And this is the day that Aldrich Errol arrives to like the town hall meeting. By the time you get there, he is already present. You see an enormous carriage, like a stagecoach, being pulled, and not by horses, but by a strange wheeled thing. It looks like a bunch of boilers and wheels with like rubber bands, like thick rubber belts connected to like pistons and gears and stuff.
Horseless carriage.
Yeah, horseless carriage, as well as I'll just show you as you wheel the Cloudbreak machine over to Crossroads. You're hiding behind a building right now. Let's see.
These guys are a little big. These guys are a little big.
Yeah, you see standing guard at the doors of the Raucous Stout are two 12-foot tall clockwork soldiers.
Well, it's a good thing the lore I took had to do with clockwork.
Yeah.
Which I actually didn't fill in.
That'll be extremely helpful as an investigator.
Mm-hmm. So Morta's there, Tala is there, and as you're moving up, you see Soren step out from behind a building and say, well, all right, this is all about the truth, so this probably would be counterproductive. And they kind of unwind their scarf and their heavy jacket. They can move a little easier, and they're showing off their prismatic cat teeth with the fangs and the sharp teeth. We get new Orin, Soren arts, not Orin, but yeah, boom, that out.
Look at you.
Question: can we bring those little clockwork pixies with us?
Sure.
Do we have?
Yeah.
Like 3 of them, don't we?
You do have 3 of them. You would require a crafting check to program them.
I was about to say, could I use my new clockwork check?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent, because I'm way better at that than I am at crafting. 20.
20. Let me check the clockwork pixie. 20. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough to program them for a. So basically, the way it works, you could like throw one out, and then it would act as a minion.
Mm-hmm.
Where you would spend 1 action, and it would act with 2 actions.
Okay.
So that you can do whatever you want, and so I'll make the character sheet for the Clockwork Pixies available, so that you can control them as well when it comes time.
Nice thinking.
Yeah, I mean, like, so we were like rescuing Alexia. I was like, what if I took a clockwork lore to be able, like, and learning from the professor, who is an inventor, and then we can use these fun little pixie guys.
Absolutely.
And also dismantle, Argus Venatori's dogs, and take them apart and just be like, what is this? And now we've got creepy 12-foot tall clockwork men.
You do have creepy 12-foot tall clockwork men. They're wearing heavy armor. They've got these big, long swords that are the size of a great sword for you. They've got these big shields that look like it looks like those of us who have seen the Big O.
I love the Big O.
You would see that their elbows on their shield arms has that same sort of piston.
Oh my god.
That might be used for some sort of like
extra punch. power.
Yeah, perhaps.
Rocket punch.
Yeah.
Everyone,
and
Big O's
they're-
really good. You
they're
should go
just-
watch it.
You're a louse.
You're a louse, Roger Smith.
And so that is where we are. You're right here, up in the top left. The Raucous Stout is right there. You hear like conversation inside. The windows, of course, are long boarded up because why would you need windows to let in light when there is no light? The only entrance is that you can see is that big set of doors. There's also Aldrich Errol's steam carriage.
God, look at that fucking thing.
Who wants to sabotage that?
I think that's you, buddy.
Oh,
You're the one with the crafting.
am I the
Well.
saboteur?
Perhaps
I mean,
I'm on bodyguard duty.
I am riling up the crowd. That will be the signal to start. Because you can't get a crowd going on a dime.
Yes, and it takes about an hour.
Anna's in the background going like, hype.
Tell us this. And it takes the ritual to power the cloud break takes about an hour to complete. So perhaps we should start in on that while you have time to get to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm off. She leaves.
Well, if we aren't,
She
going
puts
to.
on like a cloak, so that she isn't just like obviously wearing like the like big symbol of an insurrection and armor. So she puts on like a cloak. Her head is still uncloaked, but like her armor and all
You're
that
wearing a
is-
poncho.
Yeah, she's wearing a poncho. She's a Jedi now.
Yes.
Be unhappy in a poncho.
Wonderful.
Cool.
So we heading in, Elizabeth?
May I make a disguise check real quick?
Oh, that's way more challenging than I realized it was going to be.
That's fine.
That's the
It's
music.
festive.
That's the music coming out of the tavern. You can make a disguise check. Absolutely.
Can't wait to fail this.
Wow. Bad. Check.
Oh God.
So she's wearing a poncho, but like all of her weapons are freely accessible on the
Oh my
outside of the
God.
poncho.
You can
Yeah, you
spend
said
a hero
gleaming-
point.
She's got a +4.
Yeah, fair.
Really, how good is it gonna be?
Fair.
Sana doesn't lie to anyone.
Mm.
This is like the closest she's ever come,
Yeah.
which is putting a poncho on.
That's true. You do have a specific thing about not lying to anybody, and it has gotten us into trouble several times.
And so
Yeah.
looks at this. Okay, I'm going to hide behind this wall just in case I need to pop someone's head off.
Oren will, when accompanying Yasbeta, be like hood mostly up and have the side sort of how they carry it when they're being inconspicuous, which is like blade is down and wrapped. So it just looks more like a walking staff.
Cool.
So.
I guess
So-
well, go ahead.
So wait, Sana, where are you going?
Oh, I am basically, there's people around, like Aldrich
Yeah,
Errol's
the-
in town.
Yeah, they're all in the tavern listening to him speak.
I go into the tavern.
Okay, because that's the thing is because this is like it's like a town hall. It's like a town hall meeting.
Yes,
Um,
she's gonna come in and sit in the
Those
back.
massive things. They're so big.
So are Elżbieta and Oren also going into the tavern?
Yeah, should we have gone in first in case Kasana can't get in?
Yes.
Yeah, we can go in and be like just settled and then inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was gonna, cause we never, no one ever said if this was a good idea or not. But
I think it's a great idea.
she's gonna like try to make herself look a little bit younger, because I do have an expert disguise kit, and so just kind of like using that to just be like, no, I'm totally not here to kick your ass, but also like to look as like someone who was like interested in being one of his new bright minds to interview or whatever.
Cool. And while this is all happening, Precus, you have access to the cloud break ritual, so you know like how that is all works. So that's actually going to be part of your job, is figuring out where to place the cloud break device.
That's fair. So is the just
but
to
I mean like also sorry, go ahead first. You
so
first.
to confirm with the rest of the group, is the plan that will he be out in the streets at some time? Are we going to try and lure him out?
Because my other idea would be, what if I attempted to sabotage his little steam train and sent it running, and then his guards would be like kicking up a clockwork fuss, and then he would have to come out, and then you can go, wha-bam, clouds.
That's an appreciable thought.
I figure that the best place to set it off is going to be so it like floods the front of the inn with light. Either way, we're going to try and get him. He's either going to come outside because he's pissed. We said there's only one way out of that building, right? So when he leaves, it's going to have to be through that door. So, and that's also like the most obvious vantage point for anyone like still in the tavern, anybody that maybe isn't inside. So yeah. How big a burst can it make?
So
depends on how the thing goes.
But can the machine? Does the machine have to be under where you want it to be, or is it just like a matter of pointing it?
It's within 30 feet of the ritual space.
So
you have
the ritual space, I'm assuming, is just the area of the machine here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So best option would probably actually be me trying to get him to come out by sabotaging his machine.
I was going to say, or alternatively, quietly move it round so it's literally next to here, and then it's going to be within 30 feet of the door.
Yeah, because then it'll be right about here, and then it'll make a burst.
It's not a 30 burst foot around the machine. It's a 30-foot burst within 30 feet of the machine.
Yeah.
So
we'd plant
but it still does need to be closer.
Yeah, and it would get about this far out, which then would have its own radius of them.
Yeah.
So I think parking up the cloud break next to the... That said, how big is it? If it's that narrow, put it in... Oh, no, because we just need to keep out of eye line of the soldier boys.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this side of
this is like the patio of the Rock of Stout. You see like the spots where benches usually are, but like they look like they've been dragged inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm assuming there's not really an outside that we can exploit like on the other. So yeah, then probably what Precus and crew will do is set it up so we're rolling out of sight down this way to keep out of the prying eyes of these guards here. And then when things pop off, when we start doing that ritual, the burst will end up somewhere around here and hopefully implicate somewhere within it. Should be 30 here and 30 here. So as long as they're standing right at the door, it should catch them.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone in the tavern will see that too. Hopefully.
Hopefully. So there's a lot of things to keep in mind as this is going. So in the meantime, what are the sequence of things that are happening?
All right, then
Kasana's
I'll have
going
gone
into
in
the
first
building.
with Orin then. Oh, is Kasana going in first? Or do you want...
I can go in with y'all if that would be easier. To just go in as a group.
You said you had your weapons on show, so I was kind of maybe we don't...
Someone could negotiate with her.
Someone can tell her maybe...
Maybe wait 5 minutes and then go in after us, I think is what the plan is here.
If you insist. She waits over by...
So that's a 26 total on my deception, because I didn't add my +1 from the disguise kit.
That's a better.
Oh yeah.
It's a good...
it's a little bit better than Kasana's. It's almost as if I have a +10.
you like work up your hair and like tie it all up in a way that like makes it hard to like tell how long it is.
How long and how red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as the two of you move in, the two clockwork guards kind of look down at you as you approach, but they don't like make any moves.
I think it's like too fast for me to try and do a quick survey of them because I don't want to stop and like study them. That'd be a little suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess we're just
go inside.
walking past. Yeah.
Wrong button. Wahoo!
Ooh, yep.
Yeah, you go inside. You see a lot. One, you see like all of the tables and stuff, and most of the chairs have been pushed to the sides of the big
he also has
common
red hair.
area. Yes, you see a tall man with deep red hair going white at the temples, with a smart goatee and finely tailored clothing, standing on the platform and kind of just speaking and saying like, "Yes, of course, these are all great concerns, and I know you're all very concerned about the recent uptick in RAM terrorism." I've heard quite like just kind of talking, taking questions, as the benches that normally sit outside for people to sit when it's slightly nice out have been pulled in to use as like pews or audience areas. You see Mose and Pilar still sitting at the bar, just keeping an eye at things. You also see standing next to the raised platform is someone that some of you might recognize, as though he is looking very different now. It's one of those juggernauts, but he seems to be wearing a more specific and like tailored set of armor. And not only that,
Sana, it's your arch nemesis. Is that a robot head?
It's not a robot head, but he does have a robot arm.
Okay.
Thank you. He's wearing a breastplate. He's got a like brass arm that looks like it's
steampunk motherfucker. Oh no!
Yeah.
Don't say supercharged.
Yeah, looks like he could carry his greatsword with one hand now.
Damn.
He's also got tucked into his belt a sawed-off blunderbuss with two barrels.
So extra, but I love it.
And something different, strange about him. You see some of his veins are glowing a faint blue, as well as his eyes through the slits of his helmet. It seems like he's been modified in some way since being so terribly injured at the hands of Kasana the Spear. Of course, he was on the other side of the fight from the two of you, so he probably wouldn't recognize you on sight, but you definitely recognize Luka Bogdanov.
He's come back better than ever, baby.
We can rebuild him. We can make him bigger, stronger, faster.
Yeah.
Sure wish you didn't.
The 10 million gold piece man. Yeah, but Aldrich Carroll kind of like flicks over to look at you, like as you come in, barely really pays attention to you as you enter, because you're like just people,
Mm-hmm.
And then just continues to do his thing, which is where he's just talking to the people of Rule.
Do we want to grab a seat maybe off here on the side? Sort of give a hint of maybe like how big Oren is, and then how you can put on the thing of being this super interested Errol fangirl, just like enraptured by his bullshit.
A great actress.
I believe it.
That's what she was built to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did we get a steak from Jack? Did he go and get some steak? Okay. Just making sure.
Hidden amongst your garments. Yeah, Aldrich Carroll just, kind of shooting the rays, and he says, yes, and of course I have the letters this round of letters from everybody. There, Mosin, your son is doing very well down in Coronant. He's made some great strides in water purification. His desalinization efforts, definitely the lack of many natural springs in Tarandaur means that it's very difficult to get a regular source of water, but he is really helping out over there. And like Luka Bogdanov is like passing out letters.
Does one get handed to the people next to where we are?
Yeah. He's like coming around.
Yeah.
There's your sister, I think, and gives it to the woman sitting there.
I'll lean in, just like, how's your sister done?
And the woman kind of like breaks the seal of the thing and raises and says she's doing well. She's doing crop rotation in the Western Reach.
That sounds like her. The sort of thing she'd be interested in doing.
I mean, it's just a thing that people need. She was always very smart and giving.
My friend's looking at maybe signing up, as it were. And,
Yeah, I mean, it's great. And, the money that's sent back the is certainly not something that doesn't hurt things.
Do you miss her?
Of course.
How long's she been gone?
2 years. And it says, yes, and that is the things that I have ready. Those are my prepared statements, the important agenda pieces. So we can open it up. Tell me, my dear subjects, my dear neighbors, how is rule?
Quickly, just to that woman I was speaking, just like, I hope Lady Moon shines down on you both. Even when you're apart, it's the same moon.
And she kind of like looks confused, but like nods to not be rude.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know who that is or what that means.
God. Who's the drunkest in the crowd to ask that question? He's a cop, he's got to tell us.
You're laughing at things that the audience doesn't know.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
this is... Shh.
We've got some hecklers in the Discord.
The Discord that's just us.
Listen, y'all have to rabble rouse for me, is what I'm saying in the Discord, because the moment I walk in, that guy is
Things are
gonna
gonna go
recognize
hot.
me.
Yeah.
Like,
Things gonna pop off in a real big way.
unless he rolls a critical failure, and a critical failure doesn't succeed against a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Our heist plans, we already see them failing in slow motion.
Listen, if he starts running towards you, then I can make a break for Errol, so...
all I'm saying, you gotta be the rabble rousers. We lowered the DC. This is your chance.
It's your move.
Yeah, so are you doing anything? Or because otherwise people are just going to ask, like, just talk and have, like, normal town hall stuff.
Yeah. Orin has, like, no charisma. So, like, I mean, literally, they have -1 modifier to charisma. So you're going to have to...
Jacuz.
Yeah. No,
And Kasana's
well,
walking in within 5 minutes, so you got
Yeah.
a timer.
Yeah. I think part of it is just like Elzbieta just wants to like listen and like get a bunch of information at first, because also she hasn't been in this town or in this parish in general, and so she's still trying to like she's doing the crash course in catching up with what everything is and like where all the pieces lie, especially amongst the players in the tavern. And then she'll probably like when it's getting closer to like Kasana's bargain time, does she have to be like, hey, are you looking for new applicants, or is he gonna like call for them? Is that like that's what I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so you have to, with the information you have to decide how you're going to handle this.
Yeah,
If you want to, but if you wait, he could just leave.
If you want to approach him, I will start like surreptitiously like dropping leaflets as I walk around, like maybe to go get a drink. And just sort of like, and we made them. You know. And I will like put my hood down so the symbology like painted on is clearly, especially in a well-lit room, just like this fucking 6'8" grayish bluish skinned individual painted up like a recruitment campaign for Lady Moon is just there. And just sort of like walks through, like bumping into pews. You know that way that like larger people can, like most of the time, every like really tall and broad people are very careful how they move around because they know how big they are. And Oren's always been like that. But this is very much clipping into things, bumping in, like very apologetic the whole time. Sorry to interrupt, and just like dropping the odd little leaflet and stuff.
Sure. And Oren, as you're doing that, make a stealth check to do it surreptitiously.
Thank you. I will reroll that, please.
Sure.
Thank you muchly. Let's try that again. Hell yeah, quantum!
Yeah, that sure. Yeah, so Oren is making a discreet scene.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you want to take advantage of that.
Yes. So in which case then
because otherwise people are talking like about like farm fields and like could we trouble you, dear sir, to get another cold lamp so that we can set up a new pasture.
Yeah, okay, hold on, let me like gather my thoughts. Because I have to like avoid Luca. And so I have to like be loud, but not loud enough for Luca to come target me. So yeah, I think she'll kind of like move then into the center of the room, and then she'll ask, Lord Errol, I was hoping that I would be able to petition you for a chance to study amongst your Legion of Bright Minds.
Oh, well, welcome, young lady. I don't think I've seen you around here before. Are you from outside of the parish?
Yes, I did just move here recently.
Well, certainly. We're always on the look for new people to join the Legion, I suppose. As you said, out of the ordinary. Not usually this time of year, but certainly we could have some sort of interview. What is your name, child? Does anybody know this young lady?
My name is Wutzia.
And Wutzia, fantastic. And yeah, people are like, we don't know her. He says, well, you certainly doesn't seem like you've made much of a splash in Rule, but that's fine. We all have our ways to shine.
I haven't yet, but I would hope to be able to serve these people as you do. Of
course. Well, sure. Come closer. Let's have a. Are there any more concerns that the assembled villagers and people of Rule have that they would like to leverage or state before I end this quorum and meet with this prospective apprentice?
Sana outside with Soren is, all right, it's been 5 minutes.
Give me like 1 more minute.
Yeah, I will know. Oren has sort of probably figured out enough about who Luca is to at least provide partial cover from a sight line from immediately being able to look at the door. Just like casually leaning against the bar.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Hell of a thing. Hell of a thing. Yeah.
All right, well, she moves 25 feet around, so it's probably like 40 seconds, 40, 50 seconds before she gets done.
Yeah, Elizabeth, you got one thing. You can do a thing. What do you do?
Okay. Then in which case I will probably I'll step up to here and God, this juggernaut right up in my grill.
He might not recognize you because
Yeah,
you
he's not
No,
really-
but the last time the other guy took me out in 1 hit.
You'll be fine. I'm right
I don't
here.
want.
I'm right
No,
here.
you're all the way right there.
Cool. So as you approach, I'm gonna roll perception for Errol. This is gonna be against your deception DC. With
Oh,
that.
boy.
I can get to him in a round. You're fine. And
I feel
hit him.
fear.
I feel.
So he rolls a 30. As you come up, and you can't see his eyes through the night glass, but he does furrow his brows and says, "Those eyes, that bone split, young lady," and he kind of hops off. And you have him in arm's reach as he looks at you and he says, "Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me."
Can I
Kasana.
act? Ah,
Yeah,
fuck,
you can act.
Well,
you can act quickly.
it would mostly be her pulling off her hat and going red hair,
Fantastic.
and then getting ready to stab him.
Fantastic. Kasana.
Kasana is walking up. She's using her Geist arm as a walking stick, and she's panting. And she sees the 2 large clockworks as she gets closer, and she says, "I'm not too late, am I? My friends have already gone in."
They just kind of regard you and open the way.
Well, not very talkative. I'll just show myself in then. She walks in, doing this. It's not terribly convincing. She enters the room.
Fantastic. You enter the room. You enter the room. Kasana, you immediately clock that Aldrich Errol has realized something. And then... cool. And then Oren, you see Oren is turns to look at you, and then behind them you see the gleaming eyes of Luka Bogdanov. And he goes, "You!" And Aldrich says, "Who? Her? What?"
Meanwhile, Kasana makes her entry and locks eyes with Luca.
Yes.
She locks eyes and says, "Do I know you?"
At least she tries to feign ignorance.
and he points at himself with his robot arm and says, "I'm the man whose arm you maimed. I'm the man whose prisoner transport you attacked. I am
yes.
Luka Bogdanov, and I will
Luka
cleave your
Bogdanov.
head from your shoulders."
She's like, maiming an arm doesn't really narrow it down.
Apologies.
Prisoner
You didn't have your helmet on when you told me your name. And she
and
throws off her cloak.
Yeah, he pulls
Not
his
as
helmet
dramatic
off.
a reveal.
You see he's got the face that he has, the kind of hands face. But one thing is that he has the side of one head, the side of his head shaved on one side, and you see a number of gleaming silver glyphs have been tattooed into the side of his head.
Okay, that's a look, to be fair.
But like tattooed, but with silver.
Yeah.
Like a metal tattoo, like an engraving almost.
Yeah, go. Yeah, I'm fully prepared to step into his path as he approaches.
So, the machine has been charged, correct?
We haven't rolled that yet.
So maybe we should do that to see how well that has gone.
Yes, so outside...
Let's
Also, I assume
go
you've
back a
moved
little
the
bit, yeah.
machine
Yeah,
maybe over here.
Yeah, Mort says like, all right. So things seem to be. We should move this.
So, do we need to worry about being spotted when we move this thing? Because we would be moving it to about here.
We should be
How-
quiet.
We should be quiet. Yeah.
Yep. Do some quiet things.
Well, let me check to see if Tala... Oh, is anyone in this... Any of the NPCs proficient in stealth to do the follow the leader? Follow the
yes.
expert?
Both Soren and Tala are both experts in stealth.
Thank
Okay.
God.
Because you're not trained, are you?
Apricus actually is trained in stealth, so...
So you would get a +2 from an expert, right? If you're trained, that's the bonus.
Yes.
Okay. So here comes that.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
29 in other
Yeah.
words, because I didn't add the +2.
Nice.
So 29. I need one from Soren and one from Tala.
Okay.
Who have been handed off to our characters.
And I can handle Mort's as well.
Yeah.
Or I thought I could, but I guess he's untrained in stealth, isn't he?
So he
He's
would
not
get...
trained. So he would
so
roll. He would add his level +2.
That's
Plus his dex bonus.
5, 7, +3. So I rolled
15.
dex.
No,
Oh,
that's
buddy.
not right. That's not right at all.
Yeah,
No, it's still in that one. So he is so he is dragging it along and says, "Hey,
like,
don't worry,
"Oh."
don't worry about us. We're just polishing it."
Tala's just gonna grab him by the face.
Bless
Okay,
you, Tala.
and Soren says, "Fucking shit, man. What kind of spy are you?" He says, "I'm a doctor."
Damn it, Soren!
I'm a doctor, not a spy.
And Tala says, "We must hurry." And yeah, let's roll the ritual for Cloud Break, which is a ritual that I made up for this adventure.
Hell yeah.
Pop that open on the screen for everyone.
Pop that up on the screen. It's a third level ritual. It requires 200 gold worth of Magecraft grade mirrors and crystals, which have already been handled, an hour of charging, which has mostly been handled, and now it requires a number of checks. First, the secondary checks for nature and crafting, which are DC 22 checks.
Okay.
A success on those does nothing but doesn't provide a penalty. A critical success confers a +2. And then there was the primary check, which is a DC 27 Arcana check.
Right, so Tala's providing the nature check.
And Mort's providing the crafting check.
Yep. He says, "Okay, let's organize
Reroll.
this."
I'll burn my hero point for
Mhm.
that. As
That is
I'm
a
operating
failure.
Tala for the moment.
There we go.
Uh-huh. Mort succeeds.
I think, right?
No, the DC is 22.
Oh, sorry,
And
I
Tala
misread
succeeds.
numbers.
Tala rolls a 29. Both of those succeed, which means that there is no penalty applied to Apricus's roll.
You got 3 hero points, Corey.
I do indeed. Everybody, let's see if this works out. So, here's one crafting check. I got it in 1.
Got it in 1. That's a DC. That's a 30 on a DC 27. That is a success, which means that you have 2 options. 1, either so for other critical success, the best possible circumstances is to get a 30-foot burst for 10 minutes. A success is as a critical success, but either the burst is 10 feet and lasts for 10 minutes, or 30 feet and lasts for 1 minute, which means you have to time it.
Ooh.
So it looks like 10 feet. I can manage to land it on the door.
Sure.
I'm going from 30 feet.
I think
here.
the door is here.
Oh,
yeah, the door is here.
All right. 30 feet right around here. If I do 10 feet, then I'm able to just... Are we on D&D diagonals by the chance?
We are on Pathfinder diagonal. No, we are on D&D diagonals. There we go. Now we're on Pathfinder diagonals.
Oh, that is very important.
Yeah, so I would... Yeah, actually, this way changes the distances. Crap.
Yeah, so it's either you get a 30-foot burst for a minute, or a 10-foot burst for 10 minutes.
Well, then in that case, 10 feet is not going to reach with how we position this. Oops.
So it's got to be 30 feet for 1 minute.
30 for 1.
Well, you roll initiative. 10 rounds is a lot of combat.
Yep, and you can activate it as an action now.
Okay.
Sweet. So you don't...
Yeah, so Tala and Mort and you are channeling light into the refractive reservoir. And this is not how mirrors work, except in this magical case. It is like channeling it, and it's gonna, like, you have a few minutes before it like kind of explodes. But as long as you pop it within like the next 15 minutes, it'll be fine. And it's charging. It's not charged, and you can just release it when you want.
This is fine.
And Tala says, "I can't believe we're going to do this." And Mortimer says, "You can't? We're fucking awesome."
And the Precus just notes, "My entire life. And finally I'll get a glimpse of it."
Yeah. Meanwhile, inside, Luka Bogdanov, his sword still on his back, but pointing his skeletal brass hand at Kasana, shouting. People are like looking weird, looking scared, looking concerned as Eldrick Errol grabs Elzbieta on the shoulder. He's going to grapple you. So 34 against your fortitude.
Jesus, yeah.
He rolled a 19 on the die. And he says,
Yeah.
"You're coming with me." He says, "Luca, clear the way. We need to get out of here." Hello, folks. Sorry for the confusion. It seems that the Rams have sent some terrible terrorists to do some terrible things. This young lady, I'm going to bring to safety. And he says, "You speak and you die," and starts to drag you towards the door. As Luca says, "Gladly, my lord."
This sounds like...
Yeah, on the plus side, I don't think the Juggernaut's going to attack you.
Hold on. How's he moving out of initiative? If he gets to move out of initiative, I get to shout to the crowd.
Yeah, you get to shout to the crowd, and then we will roll.
I think Elzbieta is just kind of going like...
Arrow.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was say Elzbieta is just kind of making like a don't... just... But if we want to get him to the door...
Well, you'll be able to get it. I'm sure he'll get to the door. Kasana, what are you saying?
Me, Aldrich Arrow, and tell the rest of the people of the crossroads here. Why don't you take off those glasses for us? Why don't you step into the light? Why don't you tell everyone what really happens to their loved one's vampire?
And he like looks at you and he says, "This woman is insane. Please move out of the way." And we will roll initiative, and we will, and some shit is gonna start popping off. This is not the full combat yet.
Oh my god.
Cool.
Ooh.
Question: Can I? What? The thing I just did, would I be able to roll deception, diplomacy, or intimidation for my initiative?
He rolled a 1, and he still got a 20.
I'm hero pointing that thing.
You can roll intimidation, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
That gives me a bonus, which is very important with this big guy.
I'm gonna hero point this also.
Going up.
Wow, some really bad rolls.
Garbage.
Yeah.
I did good though.
All right,
I think they went pretty well.
There we go. That's better.
I don't seem to be able to select Mort's token directly. By the way.
Oh, bizarre. Did I not make him belong to the token?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Is it just perception on Talifer initiative? Oh, there it is. My apologies.
Mm-hmm.
18 for Tala.
There you go. Cool.
Of course, the doctor's more ready than me with his fitness routine.
I'm just so
Ready.
strong.
So
Yes. Balanced diet and exercise. I understand, Mort.
Oh, I will roll for Soren.
Fantastic. I wasn't going to roll for everybody. I was only rolling for the people in the tavern, but we can just roll for everybody and just have it be the thing.
Okay, yeah. In that case,
No, we started rolling. That means everybody's on the initiative now, including the Clockwork Soldiers.
Well, if you all if you just all spend your actions doing nothing outside, the Clockwork Soldiers probably will too. It's
Uh-huh.
It is still in its forward.
What's going on?
The thing is, I am torn because we want to get Vampire Man outside, but also this very large gentleman robot Frankenstein with a sword is coming at my mum. So I would like to step and attempt to grapple Luca.
Okay. Make that check. Make that athletics.
Fuck off! God damn it!
That is actually going to be a critical failure.
I have no hero points. If somebody wants to give me a hero point, I would appreciate it.
I'm gonna hold on to mine. I need mine.
Can I give Orin a hero point?
Yeah, you can use your reaction to do a heroic aid, which came, which was homebrewed by our Matt Breger in her cool new actions resource.
Doing some work. Cool. I spend a reaction. You get my hero point. You can spend it as if it was your own.
Well, it's not a critical fail, I hope.
No, it's close, but it's not. So you like go to grab Luca, and he just smacks your hand away. And he says, "Get your hand off me."
Okay, I pull my. I'll do an interact to pull my scythe out. Just like, no, I don't think I will.
He just looks at you, angry. Elzbieta, that is your turn.
I'll just I'll let myself be dragged.
Cool.
And I'll just kind of like,
do you
oh
want to
no.
move with him? Do you want to like move?
Yes.
Use your movement
I'll.
to move on?
Yeah,
Cool.
so she's not gonna be putting up a fight, but I mean, she's gonna like do like maybe like a tiny little struggle, but not trying to.
Cool. So he'll be able to
Get
move
away.
at his full speed on his turn.
Yeah.
Kasana, that's you.
Sana would like to move up to the tavern and then leap onto it.
Onto the bar.
Onto the counter.
Cool.
So she leaps up onto the counter. And she is going to...
Flying kick.
She's not gonna flying.
Not a
No,
minute.
she standing there, like honestly, she didn't even like turn off her like glowing glowing Aeon Stone. It's just been casting light this whole time. She did a very bad job stealthing.
But she's prepared.
And she looks out amongst the people and shouts, You've all heard the rumors. Did you know that he uses a machine to imitate your loved one's writing? All of them have remained in his mansion as experiments. Isn't it curious how he takes the brightest minds of your loved ones and they are never seen again? Isn't it curious how he never reveals his eyes or never smiles too wide? Strange how he's so pale. Are you going to let him walk out here with an innocent individual again?
Cool. Make me your diplomacy check.
That's my mom.
Cool. It's a 31.
Fuck yeah!
Which, because you reduce the DC, is a critical success.
Yeah!
Yeah, Mom!
Fucking fantastic. Cool. So that's going to be, you're whipping these people into a frenzy. They start to be like, hey, yeah, wait, what? And we'll handle that on his turn, which, if everyone else is, the Clockwork Soldiers aren't doing anything yet, they haven't been activated. Soren is going to hunker down. Soren is actually going to hunker right here, and I'm going to someone roll perception for Soren.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Cool. Soren places their slams their body against the side of the just presses up against the side of the big wagon, and they have their gun at the ready, and they kind of stop and they cock their head and they say, "Wait, what?" And we'll figure out what that is in a minute.
Hate it.
As the Clockwork Soldier doesn't go, Mort doesn't go. It is now Aldrich's turn. The woman says, "Where is my sister? What is?" And he goes, "Shut up," and just backhands this woman,
Oh my god.
who just flies back. And he says, "We'll handle all this later. You're going to forget that if you survive. Come on." And is gonna move very quickly, jump over a thing, and with 2 movements gets to the door. Which means on a Precus's turn you'll be able to activate the Cloud Break.
Nice.
But before then, it is Luca Bogdanov's turn. This woman is also dying. Because he did 20 damage to her, and she is like a level 0 villager.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is the special ability back, I say.
FYI.
Still very
Good name.
proud of that. Luca grabs his greatsword, his what would be his Zweihander, but in his supercharged robotic arm is a Einhander. Pulls it, and he says, "I'm gonna fucking enjoy this." And he swings on Orin and misses. Rolls a nat 1. Slams it down. Orin, you step aside. This
19.
huge furrow of burned wood appears as he blasts a hole in the wall, in the ground, and then back swings it.
That does it.
That does hit. Orin, you take 13 damage, 11 slashing, and 2 electricity as he whips it around. Next is Tala.
Is going to follow Soren's lead, I think, and is going to move to this side of the horse's carriage, and is going to ready a spell.
Cool.
We'll ready. I have to declare the spell, right?
You have to ready. You can only ready a 1 action.
Oh,
so if you've got a 1 action spell, then absolutely.
No, unless the Verdant Staff can do stuff as a 1 action.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, then I will prepare to shoot somebody, I guess, with a longbow.
Cool. Apricus.
Yep. Just gonna scoot up right by Soren, and then I too will ready. Once that door opens, once man steps through, the sun bursts.
The door is open.
Oh, well then, fucking just blast that shit, baby. Precus the Luminary spreads his arms wide, faces towards the sky, and with a single snap.
Let that be sun.
That timed so well with the music.
Let
Yeah, right.
there be light. Precus, you just twist off the thing that is that is like the aperture of the thing. You like twist it as it like opens and then focuses into a single beam of pure white light that fires straight up into the sky. It's the sky, of course, is far away. It like reduces to a pinpoint in the sky as it shoots up and then hits the clouds, and there is a burning of the mystic cursed cloud cover that darkens this land. It's noon, friends.
It's
Midday.
high noon.
The sun is at its peak as a
Not that good.
hole appears in the clouds, and behind it, incandescent, the brightest thing that anybody has ever seen, the sun, the real sun, yellow and hot and beautiful, flares down. Pardon me.
Bless you.
The sound of it
Into-
landing.
The ground in front of the raucous stoat. It streams out. Elżbieta, you see Aldrich Errol silhouetted against the light of this burning globe as he goes, "Gah!" and sizzles. He is blinded for a moment and tears off his night glass. Whoops, wrong button. Revealing blood red eyes. As he
Motherfucker looks like a
backs up
vampire.
and says, and the round 2 begins, and he says, "God damn it. Luca, kill them all." And that is where we go to break.
Yes.
God.
When we return, about 10 minutes from now, we continue the fight, and we see just what it is that these men are made of. I'll see you in 10 minutes.
See you in 10.
Cheers, everybody.